Hello, everyone. Chad Kroger here, your purpose driven lender. I hope you've had an amazing summer. And as we get ready for the fall and hopefully school starting back up for you and your children, if applicable, hopefully it'll be an amazing time as you see them go back to school. It's a great, great thing to be back in school. And hopefully you had some great summer memories that you made as a family. I wanted to talk about several activities that have been going on over the last month in the economy and just several headlines that have jumped out at me that I wanted to share some thoughts on. Several items of note. One, let's just start with where interest rates are at. Interest rates have been hanging out in the low threes, just touching into the high twos. Depending on the situation that you're in, the type of property, how much you're putting down or equity position, and your credit score can all affect ultimately where you end up rate-wise. But we're still hanging out in an amazingly, historically low position. And so it's a great opportunity to take advantage of anything that you'd like to do, whether it's a refinance, cash out, pay off debt, diversify your portfolio and purchase a rental property. It's a great time. But some of the key headlines that I've seen jump out over the last several months is that from March through June, existing home sales began to drop month over month. And then in July and August, we actually saw an uptick in existing home sales being sold. What's interesting is at the same time, new home sales have been slowly getting lower. There's been less. And new home builds have also been slowing. Much of that, we believe, is tied to the inflationary costs that we saw in the spring around lumber. It was so expensive for builders, and so they slowed some of their building cycle to deal with the costs that were unexpected. Overall, though, the piece I think that is most telling is that at a national level, our inventory level is low. There are not enough homes being built to replace what is needed from a demand standpoint as the millennials are entering into home buying. The millennial generation is larger than the boomers, and they desire now and are entering into a chapter of life in their 30s for the most part. The core group is in the 30s. They are wanting to secure a home. They're wanting to put down roots more. They're wanting to have a place to raise a family, etc. And so that lack of inventory is affecting home prices. And then you add on top of it what COVID has done by freeing up people to be able to work anywhere that maybe, and if an employer is saying we're okay with remote work, then people are moving and they're saying, if I have a choice, I'm going to this place or I'm going to that place. And so the demand has gone through the roof because of that flexibility in the workspace. So all of those components have taken home prices to a very high level. Are they going to stay there? Who knows? The piece that we pay attention to, though, is those inventory levels, because they're still lacking. The demand is still there. And so if you still have demand with lacking inventory, you're still going to be able to maintain home prices and or potentially see them increase, though we have seen some slowing over the last several months. The Federal Reserve has stated that they're not going to be tapering, meaning they're going to continue to buy mortgage-backed securities, put them on their balance sheet, trying to help the economy stabilize coming out of COVID, though we are expecting that there will be tapering coming in the near future. So keep your eyes and ears peeled for that. Lastly, a fun little statistic that I came across this last month. Did you know that in the United States, there are 1.6 million licensed realtors? And At one point in August, we only had 1.2 million listings in the country. So as you can imagine, there's not even enough inventory for every licensed realtor in the country to have a listing. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in the coming months. I know that HGTV has made the realtor world seem very exciting, and many people have dove into that realm. And then they quickly discover it is a very challenging arena to be in, but we'll see what happens. I'm still waiting for the HGTV show about mortgage brokers, though I'll admit we are not all that exciting, and people only call us if they want money. So we'll see what happens. Have a great rest of your summer, and we'll see you in the tail end of September.